What's good, everybody? Your boy Big D Trump is finally on the sticks, and I'm ready to slaughter every splicer in Arcadia.
That would also include you after you shot up Fontaine's hair grow tonic last episode.
So what? At least I'm not high on brain boost and perpetually irritable like you.
Because I'm still mad at the two of you for BSing last episode and letting Atlas's family get blown up.
Ryan is responsible.
Wipe your hands of responsibility, bro, just like a politician.
Okay, settle down.
Moira. Patrick. Ain't that just like Ryan? Waits until we're almost out and then he pulls the string. We'll find the bastard. We'll find him and we'll tear his heart out.
I came to this place to build the impossible. You came to rob what you could never build. A hum gaping at the gates of Rome. Even the air you breathe sponged from my account. Well, breathe deep, so later you might remember the taste.
You get to the bathysphere in the rolling hills. That'll take you straight to the devil himself. And then all debts will be paid in full.
Ryan taking a shot at us for breathing Rapture's air is genuinely insane.
Surprise, surprise, there were efforts from both Ryan and Fontaine to privatize oxygen for profit, just like everything else.
Oh, Jesus, the hell is this?
What are you waiting for, City? It's beautiful.
Are you feeling some side effects of that hair grow tonic there, buddy?
No, I'm totally fine, but I'm pretty sure I recognize that lady. Okay, damn, this is a pretty undignified way to go. But why the hell did I just see this dame as a Force ghost?
Dunno. I didn't see anything?
Oh, sugar, I'm spliced up in ways you never dreamed of.
Get over here.
Quote, I'm spliced up in ways you've never dreamed of. Must be what passes as flirty foreplay in Rapture.
Seems like some poor blighters have started seeing ghosts. Ghosts? Ryan tells me it's a side effect of this plasmid business. One poor sod's memory is getting passed on to another through genetic sampling. Leaks, lunatics, rebellion, and now bleeding ghosts. Ain't life in Rapture grand?
What a night I got lined up. Everything's ready. Flowers, bottle of wine, even 2 tickets to the tea garden. Nothing gets the Bettys in the mood like nighttime in Arcadia. Now I just gotta stop by the Thrifty Care to pick up a med hypo, just to be safe. Word is, this ain't Angelina's first visit to the tea garden.
Hey, can you help me, man?
Oh, I'm gonna help you all right, big dog. Just you wait.
All my homies hate Houdinis.
Hold on now, we can't gloss over Bill saying that people in Rapture are seeing each other's memories. That's why I saw that ghost outside the medical pavilion.
This is a side effect of Little Sisters harvesting atom from dead splicers to recycle it. When the recycled atom is used by another individual, that person may experience the memories of the original splicer by seeing these ghastly apparitions. We all saw the medical pavilion ghost, so I'm guessing that Splicer's atom was in the batch of electro bolt we all took? Donald is the only one who saw Dieter and Angelina, so maybe their atom was processed into that hair grow tonic.
Wait, if that's the case, didn't Dieter just imply that Angelina might have had some sort of sexually transmitted ick from sleeping around? And then Donald injected himself with her atom? Do you think Donald now has that same ick?
Ha, that's a good question, Joseph.
Give me an H. Give me an I. Give me a V.
Not even narcolepsy sore's bullshit is going to ruin this for me. My haters are my motivators. Plus, all Houdini splicers must take forever naps, absolutely no exceptions.
On that, we agree.
The augmentation procedure is a success. The slugs alone could not provide enough atom for serious work, but combined with the host, now we have something. The slug is embedded in the lining of the host's stomach, and after the host feeds, we induce regurgitation. And then we have 20, 30 times yield of usable atom. The problem now is the shortage of hosts. Fontaine says patience, Tenebaum. Soon, the first home for little sisters will open, and that problem will be solved.
A fake orphanage to farm up little sister candidates is positively diabolical. And we are supposed to trust Tenebaum?
Today, Arcadia was closed off to all but paying customers. The man hires me to build a forest at the bottom of the ocean and then turns a walk in the woods into a luxury. Ryan asked, should a farmer not be able to sell his food? Is a potter not entitled to a profit from his pots? I started to argue with the man, and then I remembered who signed my checks. The only thing worse than a hypocrite is an unemployed one.
Ryan charging to go to the park isn't even surprising after finding out about selling oxygen. No public works or property of any kind is hard to imagine.
One of my favorite passages in the Rapture novel dives into this, Joe. In 1950, Ryan and Bill witness an altercation between two shop owners, Gravenstein and Shep. Gravenstein laments that Shep recently purchased the only local trash service, and given the two are retail competitors, Shep tries to charge Gravenstein 10 times the usual rate. He also accuses Shep of dumping trash on his property so that no one will shop at his store.
Oh, hey! I've been reading the book. I just got to that part yesterday. Let me tell this one, Barack. So, Ryan admits he doesn't really admire Shep's strategy to run Gravenstein out of business, but he refuses to intervene because he wants the market to be truly free of regulation. And he essentially calls Gravenstein a little commie bitch who needs to pull himself up by his bootstraps and compete. So, based of Ryan, if I'm being honest, and then Gravenstein can't cope with being read to filth and shoots Shep twice in the street before deleting his own save file.
God damn, and that was before Adam became mainstream, right? People were already losing their minds in Ryan's water park. The plasmid epidemic just hastened the inevitable.
Donald, I'm proud of you for reading the novel.
Well, there's not always enough warpstone to go around to power my game systems. The rations keep getting tighter and tighter, so I had to do something that doesn't consume power to pass the time.
Our lives have gotten so bad in the hamlet. I'd almost consider moving to post-fall Rapture right now if the place really existed.
Back on topic, it was growing civil unrest like what Donald described that led Ryan to recruit none other than psychiatrist Sophia Lamb to Rapture. He hoped she would help him quash the dissents of those who had become jaded with life in Rapture. She, however, had other plans. We will learn more about Sophia Lamb when we eventually draw near to Bioshock 2.
All this talk about that snake Sophia Lamb has my eye involuntarily twitching.
Okay, take it easy, big guy. I'll change the subject. Up here you'll find our first U-invent machine, which will let us combine some of the ingredients we've been finding in Arcadia, such as kerosene and empty shells, to create some rare ammunition types and a few tonics. You'll want to hack the machines in order to increase the resource efficiency. Electric gel for the chemical thrower is my absolute favorite.
All about them heat-seeking RPGs and exploding buck. Let me get Human Inferno and I'll pop off.
Bit of a rudimentary crafting system then? I do kind of like that there's other ways to get ammo aside from just spending Rapture dollars and finding it as loot.
Yeah, I may have mentioned this before, but that meme about saving all your consumables and special items for when you really need them, only to completely forget about them and then bam, the game's over, definitely applies to me. So it's nice that by mid to late game, you can craft plenty of ammo.
You guys just see the Rosie knock that splicer right on her ass. Let's just take a moment to watch this beat down.
You have to be insanely detached from reality and fiending your ass off for Adam to just be a regular old splicer with a pistol and think going one-on-one with a big daddy is a good idea. You gonna fight him yet, Donald?
Not just yet. I've got a little more prep to do before I round up the sisters.
There has been tremendous pressure to regulate this plasmid business. There have been side effects, blindness, insanity, death. But what use is our ideology if it is not tested? The market does not respond like an infant, shrieking at the first sign of displeasure. The market is patient, and we must be too.
Blood just said, quote, blindness, insanity, and death are the side effects, but it's no biggie because completely free market good, even if outcome bad.
Some of you may die, but it is a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Something about Donald quoting Lord Farquaad is deeply hilarious, but I'm going to let it slide because it might be my favorite reference yet. Shrek is incredibly based.
A nice pivot from all the Talladega Nights references. I'm brainstorming right now for the next one. But Donald, what are you thinking about spending our Adam on? We only have 180 until you hit a big daddy.
I'm going to credit Barack here for leaving me some Adam to play with. In my opinion, unlocking some additional combat and physical tonic slots makes a bigger difference than most of your early plasmid options. We are going to take the extra passive slots to equip Armored Shell for the physical damage reduction and Medical Expert for more healing from health packs. Not the flashiest choice, but I'm taking this competition very seriously, and I believe this gives me the best chance to pass things off to Joe death-free.
Rolling Hills is over yonder, and the bathysphere station is as well. And then straight on to Ryan.
My boy Atlas isn't really thinking straight after what happened to his family. When there's no way in hell Ryan is going to just let us stroll up to his office in Hephaestus. He's been thwarting us at every turn. There's definitely about to be some bullshit any minute now.
Joe, you cannot possibly know just how right you are.
You might hear things about me, see my name about, think what you will. There was a time I cared about politics, but it's just an excuse men use to kill one another. I'm done with all that. I just want to see the sunlight again.
Understandable. Bro has lost everything. We gotta get him out of here with us.
Buy him a ring already.
Jealousy is so unbecoming, Donald.
Whatever. Your attempts to bait me aren't going to work today. I am completely focused and immune to your nonsense. Your best hope of beating me is getting a lead in Bioshock 1, because you and I both know if I have the lead when I get a Big Daddy suit in the Proving Grounds and then get control of Subject Delta and Drill Specialist, this competition is as good as over with.
Donald's grandstanding aside, we just picked up one of the most insane tonics in the series, natural camouflage. It allows you to turn invisible if you stand still for a few seconds, meaning you can break aggro and even wait out security alarms while the bots fly around aimlessly.
On the surface, I once bought a forest. The parasites claimed that the land belonged to God and demanded that I establish a public park there. Why? So the rebel could stand slack-jawed under the canopy and pretend that it was paradise earned. When Congress moved to nationalize my forest, I burnt it to the ground. God did not plant the seeds of this Arcadia. I did.
Okay, Donald, our resident Andrew Ryan Glazer, defend him burning down the forest.
I'm actually not going to. Look, I know if the government seizes your land via eminent domain, you get paid for it. He destroyed the value the land had and ruined his payday, just so he could stamp his feet and be petty for losing to the feds in the marketplace of ideals. He could have taken the money and used it to do a better job investigating the people he invited to Rapture, so maybe absolute shitheads like Fontaine and Lamb wouldn't have made it in. Plus, burning a forest probably full of animals and stuff is wildly uncool.
Nice save there at the end.
Honestly, one of Donald's better takes. Some stuff just isn't right, even if devised and contorted for the sake of personal ideals.
Are you eyeing up that Big Daddy Donald?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and use my one security bullseye Big Daddy kill to take out this Rosie. I can snap a ton of pictures of security bots so we can hurry up and max the research and unlock auto-hacking. I'll fight the rest straight up. So let's just get this out of the way so I can score some more sweet Adam.
Wait, I got distracted with everything going on. But, did we ever convince Donald to rescue the sisters? Or is the whimsical start we got off to about to go up in flames?
Oh, Joey, my boy, wouldn't you like to know? I think I'll just keep you in suspense.
Side note, natural camouflage is so crazy. You were trying to intentionally trip the alarm, and instead you went invisible and broke aggro on accident.
Editor, can we spare the viewers all the snapshots I'm about to spam? I feel like it's kind of hard on the eyes. Let's jump to my inevitable success. As you can see, the daddy is almost dead and isn't even aggroed. More proof security bullseye is practically a cheat code when used in this manner. Well, boys, it's the moment of truth.
Donald, there will be a riot on this video if you lock us into the evil ending by harvesting a second sister. You wouldn't dare.
Bitch, please. I can't believe I'm hearing this from you of all people after episode 2.
Barry, stop him.
You fuckers want to see what a real fascist looks like. Well, it's finally time for me to be the villain you all say I am. Why don't you go cope about this on TikTok, you goddamn snowflakes?
I can't look. Someone tell me when it's over.
Nah, I'm just pulling your leg, everybody. You should have seen your faces. Obama presented me with an interesting alternative and actually convinced me to go along with this little rescue plan. For now, anyway.
Oh, good grief. Obama, you knew the whole time and let us sweat. Not cool, bro.
Ah, come on, I can have a little fun too sometimes. Everyone who was screaming at their screen a minute ago, just take a deep breath. It's all gonna be okay.
All right. Jokes aside, let's get to the bathysphere.
There's the BS right there. Called it. The hell is this gas?
It isn't right. I'm gonna need you to listen to me. I'm no sort of botanist, but I think Ryan has just killed Arcadia. The man's put something foul into the air. Bottom of the ocean, Bio. All the oxygen comes from the trees. No trees, no oxygen. Give me a spell to think. Ryan's woman in Arcadia is an old Betty named Langford. An okay sort, but not above doing a dirty job for $1. If she's still kicking around, I'm sure she's gonna want to save her trees. After all, she planted the damn thing.
What do you think the odds are that Ryan got this gas idea from Rapture's resident Nazi enjoyer?
Reach any further, you'll pull a muscle. There's nothing suggesting Tenebaum had anything to do with Ryan gassing Arcadia's trees.
They dress up in leaves and call themselves the Saturnine. Please. They drink human blood and chant, "Harness the flame, harness the mist," and believe they're touched by the ancient god. An aging bunch of frat boys tilting back goblets of plasmids and calling it ambrosia.
The only relevant information here is that the Saturnine cult losers are Houdinis and therefore must bite the barrel of this shotgun.
You guys really have a hate boner for Houdinis. Their teleporting looks annoying, but are they really that bad?
Good question, Joe. You see, different plasmids have varying degrees of side effects. The teleport plasmid Houdini's use is noted as causing severe mental degradation, and that madness, paired with all the possibilities for abuse that teleportation introduces, creates a very dangerous splicer variant.
Plus, that liberal arts loser Sander Cohen is a Houdini. So all other Houdini annoy the piss out of me by association.
I like Cohen as a villain, and Fort Frolic is a fantastic return to form as far as the atmosphere and horror elements that we saw in the medical pavilion go. But yeah, pretty much everyone in Rapture would agree with Donald here, except for Ryan for whatever reason.
Definitely one of Ryan's only major L's. Cohen sucks, and he has never survived in any of my playthroughs, and he never will.
Dang, I can't wait to meet him next episode. If he bothers Donald so much, him and I might see eye to eye on some things.
Oh no, Joseph, you don't want to have anything in common with that guy. Trust me. Here we have the Ammo Bandito vending machine, which has this kind of racist Hispanic caricature as the mascot. We mentioned Rapture was pretty progressive for the 1950s, but to be clear, social prejudices still existed. We'll see some instances of that as the story progresses.
Hey, Julie, open up. I, Donald Trump, have come to save the trees.
It wasn't you, was it? No. Ryan. I think I've got a way to save the trees. It's a genetic vector that... Oh, look who I'm talking to. Could you find a sample of Rosa Gallica for me? Look in the grotto. I've got to keep working while there's time.
Lady, the last time someone sent us on a quest from behind a door, it didn't turn out so well for them.
Hopefully Julie doesn't do anything she might regret.
Speaking of regret, here's Mariska Lutz.
The minute we came here, Masha started screaming, "Mama, Mama, what is that? What is that?" I thought she was having some kind of seizure. And then I realized, trees. Never saw one before. Thought they were monsters. Oh, Sammy, maybe we never should have come to this place.
Guess her intuition aged well, for what it's worth.
Critical. Lockdown initiated. All bulkhead doors are now...
Damn city built to not let anyone out in the event of this kind of emergency. Either we get those trees back, or you're a permanent resident.
Look, I already said I was going to save the trees. All right? Get off my back, Atlas. You're starting to sound like Al Gore.
Speaking of Gore, is he still being forced to work for the Miller?
Yeah, I genuinely feel kind of bad for him. I heard the work is backbreaking.
Here's security evasion, which delays cameras and turrets' ability to identify you as a hostile target. Honestly, most of our bot problems are solved by natural camouflage, so I recommend we skip this tonic for now.
I agree, there are better options for our limited 3 physical tonics. I want to go back to that Mariska Lutz audio diary because it brings up something interesting. Obviously, moving to Rapture would be a pretty wild experience for an adult, but it would be an especially crazy place to be born and grow up, wouldn't it?
A kid thinking trees are monsters because their parents haven't spent money to take them to the artificial undersea park that produces oxygen and sells it to the people of an undersea colony of body-morphing crackheads so they don't suffocate is a pretty flabbergasting thing I just said.
Can't believe I'm going to say this, but I don't think I could have said it better myself.
Ryan was very strict about what information was taught to children about the outside world to try and prevent any of them from yearning to leave. Ryan Amusements, a propaganda theme park intended to instill fear in the hearts of children regarding the world beyond Rapture, is particularly heinous.
Damn, I forgot I had natural camouflage and panicked when I tripped the alarm instead of just standing still. My bad.
Never being able to leave Rapture is a hell of a policy. Has anyone ever managed to escape?
That's a good question, Joe, but one that I don't think I should answer just yet.
All right then, keep your secrets.
Oh, Fellowship of the Ring. Nice one, Joe.
Yep, nice. I'll cook up another one. Just give me a minute.
Damn, I need to rewatch The Lord of the Rings.
A day may come that it's no longer peak, but it is not this day.
Gregory, don't come whining to me about market forces, and don't expect me to punish citizens for showing a little initiative. If you don't like what Fontaine is doing, well, I suggest you find a way to offer a better product.
That quote has to be near the beginning of Adam's introduction into the market. I'm assuming Gregory tried to raise legitimate concerns about plasmids, but Mr. Free Market over here refused to pay it any mind, at least until it got to the point that Fontaine was powerful and influential enough to start directly competing with Ryan.
I know about the lockdown. It's absurd. Just give me a minute. These Lazarus tests are very promising. If the Rosa Gallica bloom, then by God, I know we're in business. All right, I'm leaving. But somebody has to find a way to come back to check on these samples. They're very important.
What's Julie yapping about in that log? I could barely hear her over all the gunfire. These splicers are trying to gank me, and I'm about to turn it into a bloodbath.
Julie is a respected botanist who was once involved in World War II defoliation projects for the United States in Iwo Jima. Lucky for us, Julie recognized that Rapture was a harsh environment for plant life and set out to design a chemical that could essentially reanimate dead plants.
Oh, hell no. Hasn't she seen any horror flick involving reanimation? It always creates some kind of soulless demon freak. You never get back what was lost.
I couldn't believe how much things had changed since I left Dr. Steinman's office. It's like I don't even recognize Rapture no more. I hear they've been rounding up people in Paula Square. I asked Ryan how could he do such things to innocents. He said, innocents. If they haven't chosen to defend Rapture, they've chosen to side with Atlas and his bandits. So there are no innocents. There are heroes, and there are criminals.
Diane finally realizing that Andrew Ryan is full of shit brings me hope that one day Donald will also.
Damn it, I should have saved the Aragorn quote for this. I showed my hand too quickly. If I had been patient, like the market and like my boy Andrew Ryan, things would have fallen into place for me.
I pray he will only do this bit for a few more episodes. But on another note, are you about to take on this Big Daddy Donald?
Oh, hell yeah. A2 for one special. You know, I haven't really gotten to play around with Hypnotized Big Daddy in my other playthroughs, since I almost always harvest the little sisters, and the game just served up a perfect opportunity for me to try it out.
So much for fighting the other daddies straight up, huh? That sure didn't last long.
As your friend, your declining lack of awareness and failing senses invoke a genuine sense of pity. Neither of these Rosies have sisters, so I'll still have to take down another Rosie without Hypnotize and Security Bullseye. This is just a little bonus content since the game served up the perfect opportunity.
Well, okay. I guess it gives us a good opportunity to thank our viewers for the channel recently surpassing 700 subscribers. We recently became eligible for YouTube Super Thanks and channel memberships, so we've been thinking about what we should offer to people who become members. Most YouTube channels don't make it this far, so it's really awesome that so many folks have decided to subscribe, comment their thoughts on our videos, and consistently tune in to watch us game and goof around.
We really do appreciate the time people have spent checking out our videos. It means a great deal to get a positive response to something you've created.
And onward we march to 1,000. Thanks again, folks. We have a lot of ideas for content on the horizon, and we hope you'll be here for it. Back to matters at hand. Looks like my daddy has emerged victorious, as if it could have been any other way. Now there's nothing left to do but follow this injured chump to a little sister vent, and then when he has a sister, I'll stab my former ally right in the back like I'm Mike Pence.
He's at like 20% HP and you did nothing but cast Hypnotize, Big Daddy. How is this any different than using Security Bullseye?
It's not much different, but I watched episode 3 and saw Obama breaking our accord to only use security bullseye once each, when he used it a second time in the fighting McDonough's after I walked out.
Oh, God
Thought
damn
he
it.
could sneak one by me, did he? Nobody sneaks by Donald J. Trump. No migrants by my border. No commie fine print in my legislation. And no deal-breaking plasmid usage behind my back. So, I'm settling the score by forcing a Big Daddy fight club and then picking off the injured survivor. After this, it's fair again, and I'll take out the farmer's market daddy without bullseye or hypnotize.
What happens if you hypnotize a daddy who has a sister? Does he just hand her over and promise not to tell anyone he saw you take her, asking for, gameplay reasons?
The sister will run away to a vent to hide, so you'll usually want to hypnotize daddies without sisters so you don't have to find the sister later.
All right, that's another sister rescued solely out of the kindness of my heart. And definitely not to uphold an ulterior deal where their lives were bartered like commodities.
Even in the gathering dark, you light a candle. You have saved the little ones when you might have shown your cruelty. I am sending something your way to demonstrate our thanks.
I do love being recognized for what a great job I'm doing and being showered with gifts as a result. That's the one thing the recent South Park spoofs got right about me, but I still don't trust her. I'm going to deal with these splicers, then head back to that power to the people station to upgrade a weapon.
Oh, nice. I do remember seeing that when you were stalking that Big Daddy. Which upgrade are you thinking about taking?
I'm not entirely sure. What do you guys think?
Took shotgun rate of fire last time. I'm thinking we take a damage upgrade to either our machine gun for general use or the grenade launcher to help with taking down big daddies.
My vote is for the machine gun. We can now invent armor-piercing ammunition, so the machine gun will pay dividends against your average splicer as well as big daddies. Plus, I've been watching Donald do a pretty good job with ammo efficiency by burst firing it to mitigate recoil. I think it's our best option.
That's fine. We can do the machine gun this time. I would have probably done the grenade launcher personally, but I can always pick up that upgrade in the farmer's market, so no big deal. I've gotten a lot of use out of it this episode anyway. Let's get back to Julie with the Rosa Gallica and make some zombie trees, which surely won't backfire on us and serve as ground zero for the cordyceps brain infection, right? Right, Barack?
Oh, I mean, probably not.
You've brought the Rosa Gallica? Oh, what are you waiting for? An engraved invitation? Send it through the pneumo.
The flowers are all that's going through the pneumo this time. We aren't getting caught lacking without our guns again. And if Julie tries any nonsense, she'll end up just like old Peach did.
This is perfect. Perfect. Come on up to my office. I'm letting you in now. I think I've got just the thing to put the green back in this forest.
Here's Hacking Expert on what I guess is the receptionist's desk. Grab it and there's another audio log to the right.
Isn't there anything in this damn place those pagans won't steal? Paper towels, ink pots, witch hazel, chlorophyll solution, even my back issues of National Geographic. They're feathering their disgusting little shrines with it, I suppose. Sick bastards. I've got the security system in this joint hacked, so those turrets won't bite. Come on up to my office.
Do we trust Julie with this hack?
I don't see why not.
She won't try anything for her own sake.
Who says you can't teach an old hound new tricks? This batty plant woman spends 4 years coming up with ways to defoliate trees in the Pacific to scare out the Japs, and now here I am, down at the bottom of the Atlantic, trying to figure out how to do the same thing in reverse. Adam. It's bathtub gin times the atom bomb times Eve with a serpent. Let's go see what it can do.
It never fails to baffle me how everyone down here knew Adam was a live wire, and yet it didn't stop anybody from diving in head first.
Well, again, Ryan chose these people specifically because they were the type of folk who wouldn't be dismayed by risk and experimental methodology.
Yeah, but isn't it wildly convenient that Ryan gasses the trees, and there just so happens to be a lady who is like 5 minutes away from inventing some magical zombie tree serum?
Yes, Joe. Arcadia lacks the fantastic atmosphere and dread of the medical pavilion and the story relevance of Neptune's bounty, so it ends up feeling more like a side quest than a major plot point, but it is a bit of a change of pace from the dark color palettes common in other levels, so it's okay overall.
This next bit does ramp things up a tad.
Julie, we made a business deal, you and I, did we not?
Oh, son of a bitch.
Money changed hands. Let me read to you from the agreement. Section 3, Subsection 4.
Mr. Ryan.
Ryan Industries maintains exclusive rights to the creation, use, and exploitation of the Lazarus Vector. Ownership is civilization.
Wait! No! Please!
Donald, hurry! Get her out of there!
I'm trying, Joe.
Hit the glass with something stronger.
God damn, that's some serious reinforcement. Let me try one last thing.
Ryan, you son of a bitch, we are gonna make you pay for this.
Get away from the door and let the gas vent.
Every time we get a yard ahead, Ryan goes and moves the goal line down to the other side of the field.
Oh yeah, I forgot we get the chemical thrower here. Awesome.
Donald, Julie is dead.
Oh no. Anyway.
I've been killing trees for 25 years. At Berkeley back in the 20s, on the Japs at Iwo Jima. But I never brought one back from the grave before. I did, Becky. Mama's gonna build her first damn Frankentree. I'm gonna call my little creation the Lazarus Vector. Maybe it'll bring the old gal's career back from the dead as well.
Good thing Julie used her dying moments to give us the code, as this safe doesn't appear to be hackable.
What's the point of being a damn genius if the only ones around to appreciate it are a bunch of spliced-up morons? I've cracked the Vector, or at least I'm 99% certain I have. I just need a bud of Rosa gallica to confirm my analysis. Distilled water, a bit of chlorophyll, and enzymes extracted from Apis mellifera. That's right, sweetheart. Honeybee spit.
And now we are off to do a fetch quest for Lazarus Vector materials in the farmer's market after I blast my way through Ryan's splicers and the probably now hostile laboratory defenses. I set up explosives near the turrets on the way in, so this should be pretty simple.
Sounds like there's a daddy in here to complicate things a little. This is a pretty close quarters area, so it will be very easy to accidentally shoot the daddy or catch him in an explosion. You're gonna have to be careful here, Donald.
On the contrary, I'm not going to have to do much at all.
I hear a Houdini, so I consider this use of hypnotize to be absolutely valid.
If Houdini splicers have no haters left, then I must be fucking dead. Just gotta shoot this loser one good time without hitting the Rosie, and then he should take care of the rest for me.
Typical behavior.
Ow! God damn it, I caught a stray from the proxy mine. This Rosie is lucky I've already killed so many daddies in this video, or I would put him down for that.
You gotta defend your honor and clap back for that, Donald. Your manhood is at stake. If you let him go, you run the risk of looking weak on violent crime. You aren't weak on crime like a little lefty cuck, are you, Donnie?
Your attempts to bait my ego into getting into an unnecessary fight with this daddy isn't going to work.
Arcadia is a big place, but mostly rural. If you're looking for something in particular, I'd start at the farmer's market.
Quick pit stop on the way there. Here's Tenebaum's second gift for rescuing another 3 sisters. The haul this time is 200 Atom, the safe cracker tonic, which makes hacking safes easier, and 12 electric buck. Nothing quite as busted as hypnotize from the first gift, but a nice haul all the same. Are you thinking about spending some Atom, Donald?
Sticking with the same strategy for now, we are going to pick up another combat and physical tonic slot and equip Human Inferno to increase the damage of our fire-based attacks, and Eve Saver to reduce the cost of our plasmids for more aggressive casting, respectively. Plus, we'll take the extra max HP, just in case.
Logical but boring. I want to see new active plasmid usage.
Joe, shut up for a second.
When I find you, I'm gonna teach you about how things work down here. That's it? Now I'm wasting.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Joe.
Sorry, guys, my bad. I'll open a window. My gut has been working overtime to churn through all that amazing Thanksgiving food our editor sent us since we weren't able to celebrate due to the Supreme Leader banning all holiday celebrations in the hamlet.
We hope everyone who celebrates Thanksgiving, or just uses it as an excuse to hang out with family and eat delicious food, had a wonderful time.
A new curfew will be enacted on Thursday. Citizens found in violation will be relocated to Apollo Square.
Diane mentioned Ryan rounding people up and sending them to Apollo Square. Sounds like some kind of prison or internment camp.
Oh, damn. Did you guys see that? That lame farmhouse-looking building that just reeks of middle class? Do you guys recognize that place?
I didn't see anything. All of my delusions and brain demons went away after I took that Fontaine Brain Boost tonic. It has my mind as clear as a spring day. I have officially defeated my dementia. I only have 1 to 3 strokes a day, and I'm irrationally angry if I don't constantly microdose Adam. No big deal. Totally worth it.
Joe, are you just doing a bit, or should we be concerned about this?
It'll be fine, probably.
Please don't use my apartment as your springboard to the Baskin-Robbins in the sky.
Julie, my dear, I am trying to run a business here. You want to spend time with my honeybees? Well, I'm gonna have to start charging you for the pleasure. If I come out one more time and find you lolling out there amongst my hives, I'm grabbing my shotgun. As to your question, yes, my days in beekeeping school are a blur. But I do seem to remember something about that enzyme you keep blabbing on about.
I take it that was Tasha's corpse we just kind of unceremoniously stepped over? At least we know the bee enzyme is definitely here. But here's a nice opportunity to give the upgraded machine gun a try by shooting this Houdini in the back. Normally I'd say shooting someone in the back is cowardly, but all methods of exterminating Houdinis are absolutely valid. Just gonna hack this turret for firing support, and then hack this circus of values vending machine. Okay, never mind. We've hit the part of the game where there's often only one viable path for your hacking tube that usually splits right at the beginning to screw you over. Sometimes there won't be a viable path at all. Really kind of annoying, but I'll just trigger the alarm tile and stand still through the alarm with natural camouflage because it's completely busted and the bots won't see me.
A pretty insane tonic, especially since we got it essentially for free just by snapping research photos.
It isn't available until late game in Bioshock 2, so we might as well enjoy it while we can in this first installment.
Yo, Donald grabbing the wrong thing with telekinesis twice in a row, with the second one being an enormous meat tube, is genuinely hilarious. Were you drawn to that meat tube specifically because it roughly mimics the size and shape of Bubba Clinton's?
All right, that's enough. I've seen the memes. Very funny, everyone. Definitely didn't happen. Nothing to see here. Move along.
Bill actually confirmed for me that it never happened, so Donald's in the clear, but it made for an amusing meme cycle for like 3 days.
Bill may be a Democrat and a living, breathing biohazard, but at least he isn't a liar.
Children, with their very long needles, their tuneless songs, their ghastly errands, their ghoulish Frankenstein fathers. But we've all placed our hand on the great chain of endeavor. My hand is on it. Fontaine's is on it. We all pull it and are pulled by it. Yes, these children are an abomination. But it is not my hand alone on the chain that created them. No. Their little fingers were right there, next to mine.
Guy is coping his ass off right now. As much as he hates the government, he'd make a great politician with all that blame-deflecting nonsense.
I mean, what he's saying is at least kind of true. Rapture had issues, but it wasn't until Fontaine, Tenebaum, and Suchong blew the lid off of the Pandora's box that is Adam that Rapture's fate was truly sealed. His tone of voice definitely deceives some desperation to justify the state of things, though. I'll give you that.
Agreed, but consider that Ryan built and governed over a society that gleefully allowed people like Fontaine and Suchong to thrive. No matter how he tries to rationalize who the good and bad guys are, he can't escape the fact that none of this death and madness would be possible without his actions.
Also interesting that Ryan was audibly appalled by the sisters.
As the supply of sister candidates dwindled from splicer attacks, Ryan would commission a line of robotic little sisters from McClendon Robotics to replace them. The project would fail, however, as Big Daddies ignored the bots entirely and would not protect them.
Big Daddies only want the real deal. Gotta respect it.
I really don't like the way you said that, but I'm loading up this canister with proxy mines to take out this daddy and snag the last sister.
Please do not talk about, quote, snagging a child. You're almost as bad as Joseph.
Oh, good grief, you know what I meant. Time to get some use out of the napalm thrower and human inferno. Pretty damn satisfying if you ask me.
You probably burned the child a bunch also. They do still feel pain even though they regenerate, but I guess we are going to plead the rule of cool on this one?
At the end of the day, she's getting rescued, so a little sunburn is probably a small price to pay. And with that, all the sisters in this episode have been rescued, and my success at a deathless episode is all but guaranteed.
Famous last words, if I ever heard them.
Barack may have more playthroughs under his belt and no more nerd shit than I do, but I got all A+ grades in the Protector trials, and all blue ribbons in Infinite's Clash in the Clouds. I'm the best damn shooter in the group.
Never really loved those combat gauntlet-style DLCs. They weren't bad, just not really my thing.
Right? So you prefer the DLC with awful writing that retcons shit and force feeds Elizabeth down our throats?
Viewers, grab your popcorn. I'm pretty sure Donald accidentally shot the...
Quiet Joe, let it happen.
Son of a bitch, I accidentally shot the Rosie. Run, boys, run for your lives.
Wait, what the hell? Why didn't the proxy mine kill you? How the hell does the health gate work in this game?
Dunno, and I'm tired of trying to figure it out, but I'm about to hit homeboy with the talk no jutsu to get out of this little pickle. Okay, buddy. Hey, wait, why's he still shooting me? Oh, you motherfucker.
Yes, know your play's trash.
What the hell happened? Why didn't hypnotize work on that big daddy? I demand answers.
Donald, you probably don't know this because you usually play Harvester and thus don't typically have access to hypnotize, but it doesn't work on big daddies who have already been aggroed and have red lights. Otherwise, it would be completely game-breaking.
Donald dying because he likes to do evil playthroughs and therefore doesn't understand the mechanics of the good guy stuff is genuine proof. Karma exists in the world.
Whatever, I guess that makes sense from a gameplay perspective, but doesn't that kind of open up a plot hole in the opening cinematic of Bioshock 2?
Ha! Now that you mention it, I think you're right, Donald. We will just have to give a little grace and assume world lore has to be altered slightly when translated to gameplay for the sake of balance. Let's shelve this for now until we get to Bioshock 2, but that's a good call out, Donald.
On my walk today, I had my first encounter with a pair of them. He, a lumbering palooka in a foul-smelling diving suit, and she, an unwashed moppet in a filthy pink smock. Her pallor was off, green and morbid. There was a rather unpleasant aspect to her demeanor, as if she were in an altogether different place than the rest of us. I understand the need for such creatures. I just wish they could make them more presentable.
Kidnapping children is fine and necessary. I just wish they weren't so creepy.
One of the children came and sat in my lap. I push her off. I shout, "Get away from me!" I can see the Adam oozing out of the corner of her mouth. It's thick and green. Her filthy hair hanging in her face, dirty clothes, and that dead glow in her eye. I feel hatred, like I never felt before. In my chest, bitter, burning fury. I can barely breathe. And suddenly I know. It is not this child I hate.
There you go, Donald. Some character development for Tenebaum.
And how many little girls did the Kraut condemn to genetic experimentation, atom slug implantation, and eventual death before it started occurring to her that what she was doing was completely mad? I don't feel bad for Gavin Archer when he realizes he's the villain and the Overlord project is insanity. And I'm not cutting the Nazi Girl Scout any slack either.
To be fair, she took an interest in the atom slug in 1950 and didn't decide to try and rescue the sisters until 9 years later.
I've come to accept a very low standard of life, but even at the bottom of this fish tank, a man must have standards. The pathetic Trudeau down at Morley Winery has started putting water to his terrible wine. Water! When I confront him with this fact, he tells me, "Pierre, this is not to worry. The water, she is distilled. It could be worse. I could take it right from the ocean."
A minor log here, but it does illustrate how without regulation of any kind, folks could engage in any manner of underhanded business tactic they wanted, so long as people still bought the product.
Dr. Suchong, frankly, I'm shocked by your proposal. If we were to modify the structure of our commercial plasmid line as you propose, to have them make the user vulnerable to mental suggestion through pheromones, would we not be able to effectively control the actions of the citizens of Rapture? Free will is the cornerstone of this city. Thought of sacrificing it is abhorrent. However, we are indeed in a time of war. If Atlas and his bandits have their way, will they not turn us into slaves? And what will become of free will then? Desperate times call for desperate measures.
I love how he acts all aghast and pretends to clutch his pearls at the thought of Suchong whipping up some mind control into Ryan's plasmid line, and then not 3 seconds later says, "Okay, sure, let's do it."
Ryan is many things, and a hypocrite is definitely one of them.
Is bro trying to fight bees with a wrench?
Oh, goddammit, get these bees off of me, you guys.
Oh, sorry, Donald. I was distracted there for a second looking over my lore notes. Are you okay?
Yeah, whatever. Very funny. I have something planned to get the two of you back for all the crap you've both pulled so far in the series. It's coming next episode, just you wait. You won't want to miss it, folks.
Adam acts like a benign cancer, destroying native cells and replacing them with unstable stem versions. While this very instability is what gives it its amazing properties, it is also what causes the cosmetic and mental damage. You need more and more Adam just to keep back the tide. From a medical standpoint, this is catastrophic. From a business standpoint, well, Fontaine sees the possibilities.
Devious work from Tenebaum here, knowing full well that Adam is insanely addictive and likening it to cancer and then saying, oh well, addiction is good for sales. Plus, her voice at the end betrays that her and Fontaine were doing it at one point in the novel.
Damn, she really was on the wrong side of everything at one point, wasn't she?
Tenenbaum's arc begs the question of just how far one can walk down an evil path, whilst maintaining redeemability when realizing the error of their ways and righting the course. Most players tend to like Tenenbaum because she helps the players in the game, but she was quite the demon at one point.
At least Tenenbaum's particular brand of crazy is somewhat understandable due to the horrible trauma she experienced at Auschwitz when her whole family was killed. You could look at her finally connecting with the sisters as being kind of touching, since she finds compassion and a new family, and this time she has a chance to protect them.
See everyone? Joe Biden is the Nazi sympathizer, not Donald J. Trump. If the game took place any time in the entire decade before 1959, Tenenbaum would have been nothing more than a morality NPC like Gil Alexander or a mission boss like Steinman.
The game does push you to sympathize with Tenenbaum, at least compared to all the other reptiles in Rapture.
Of the folks we've met so far that have done obviously evil things, she feels like one of the few that is also kind of a victim, perhaps a product of the cruelty of her life. With a normal upbringing, maybe things would be different for her.
If you say so, having a horrible childhood doesn't really justify becoming an abusive, child-mutating psychopath, but I guess it probably skews the odds that direction. Back on gameplay, I forgot how careful you have to be in this apiary. When you gas the bees, you get attacked by a wave of splicers, and you have to clear them and look through hives for the enzyme before the gas dissipates and the bees return. I appreciate all the clusters of enemies to hit with frag grenades and napalm, but I'm ready to wrap this up.
Why do they wear those masks? Maybe there's a part of them that remembers how they used to be, how they used to look, and they're ashamed.
I'll answer that question. Atlas, the theme for the 1958 New Year's Eve party, was a masquerade ball, so tons of these animal-themed masks were created for the event. As people suffered tumors and lesions from Adam use, the mask became popular splicer attire to hide their deformities.
Oh God, it's one of those splicers who recites that hymn and has become a meme within the community. Don't worry, folks, I'll take him out before it gets embedded into your internal monologue and torments your every waking moment and haunts your dreams and nightmares.
Is it really that bad? Disliking a hymn may not be a popular stance with your voter base. Donald.
Trust me, OG Bioshock fans know what I'm talking about, and know it was totally justified.
For the Lazarus Vector yet? If you do, best head to a crafting station. Then, head back to Langford's lab and put the whole witch's brew in the mister. That should clear this fog right up.
Yes, finally this side quest is almost complete. I want to say there's a power to the people station nearby, so we will hit that and then get back to Julie's lab in Arcadia to whip up some Deus Ex Machina in a bottle and save the trees.
Speaking of power to the people, I know you mentioned wanting to do grenade launcher damage, but might I suggest chemical thrower consumption rate instead? It makes the thrower much more resource efficient and really lets you get the most out of the ever-amazing electric gel.
You tiebreak, Joe. You're playing next episode anyway.
I'll go with the thrower upgrade. It looks cool, and at least I don't have to worry about blowing myself up on accident with it.
And surprise, surprise, everyone votes the party lines once again. Meaning I lose the vote since I'm outnumbered on this show 2-1. That's fine. Just one of you make sure you get the launcher damage upgrade before my next turn in Olympus Heights.
Thanks for being uncharacteristically cool about losing yet another election against me, Donald. I have now beaten you so many times I must be scooping up residential property in your head like I'm goddamn Blackstone. Do you see me in your dreams, Donnie? Do I haunt your nightmares? Let's face it, I'll be your daddy until the day your Vita chamber shuts off for good, and you know it.
Oh, good grief, Joe. That wasn't called for. You're getting a little uptight. Why don't you take a little dose of Adam to take the edge off?
Yeah, okay. Maybe you're right, Barack. My bad, Donald. I just need a little maintenance bump. That's all. I'm totally in control.
From the sounds of that you invent, called a central misting control. Then we'll be cooking with gas.
You okay over there, big guy?
I'm almost through this with just the one stupid death, and I'm not breaking focus now. But I promise, I will get my revenge, Sleepy Joe. You just fucking wait.
We are going to have to try and wean Joe off the atom as soon as possible.
It's fine, okay. I'm cool. It's cool. We're cool, bro. All right? It's all good.
He's already talking like a tweaker. It's too late for him, Barack. Let's just put him out of his misery before he goes crazy like Gil Alexander. It's practically an act of mercy at this point.
I'm not euthanizing my former vice president, even if it possibly is kinda sorta getting to be that time, you know?
I did revise my will recently and wrote Hunter out of it. Sorry, son. Sucks you gotta find out this way. But my legacy got kinda dicey there at the end with refusing to drop out until the last minute and all. So I needed to score some points by distancing myself from the family black sheep.
Joe finally deciding to be a parent to Hunter after 55 years is genuinely a beautiful thing. You love to see fathers stepping up.
Surely this minor and seemingly random bit of Biden family lore isn't foreshadowing any sort of fallout down the road.
Don't fight the inevitable. You'll run out of oxygen soon, and then just go to sleep.
Joke's on you, Andrew. By the power of natural camouflage, I'm going to completely neutralize your little bot brigade.
Seems like this would be a pain in the ass without camouflage. That's 3 bots at once he sent for us. You'd have to be pretty quick with Electro Bolt and hack one to your side to split the aggro.
Decoy and Winter Blast would be other good options for neutralizing the bots. And you could always bust out explosives or any electric ammo.
Children must remain functional to be effective producers of atoms. I had hoped we placed them into vegetative states so they would be more pliable. I find being around them very uncomfortable. Even with those things implanted in their bellies, they are still children. They play and sing. Sometimes they look at me and they don't stop. Sometimes they smile.
Gotta give the voice actress some props here. The shift from cold and clinical to tearing up at the end was great work.
What makes something like me? I look at genes all day long, and never do I see the blueprint of sin. I could blame the Germans, but in truth, I did not find tormentors in the prison camp, but kindred spirits. These children I brutalized have awoken something inside that for most is beautiful and natural, but in me is an abomination. My maternal instinct.
Run, you pathetic woman!
Did he just call me a fucking woman?
I slipped that Splicer 20 Rapture dollars to say that. I can't stop winning.
Now, I'm a woman of science, but I'm also a woman who's not afraid of turning a buck or two. Ryan said if I could boost profits in Arcadia, part of the up would ride on my hip. So I get to thinking, we're paying for oxygen when we got photosynthesizing trees. Hell, we can even sell the extra to the rest of the city and undercut the other guys. Ryan would like that for sure. Fontaine's people have moved into the O2 biz tooth and claw.
Once again, privatizing breathing is some Orwellian dystopia type shit.
Market demand determines the products, Joe. Pick up an economics book once in a while. Anyway, not much left to do except plug in this vial of the T-virus and overrun this facility with the living dead. Looks like the conveniently placed local muscle is still hanging out in the lab. So if Ryan tries to stop me from curing the genophage, I'll set my boy Calros on him like this is Tuchanka.
Steady, Donald.
Whatever. Gotta be one person watching this video who is pleased by the Bioshock, Resident Evil, and Mass Effect mashup.
I liked it, and Ryan is definitely about to try and gank us with more splicers the moment you plug in the Miracle Grow, so you better be ready.
Yeah, this is my last morsel of combat before Olympus Heights in 2026. So I'm gonna enjoy this beatdown, and I hope you'll all be here with us to see it in the new year, folks.
So crazy to me that it's already almost 2026. Been a crazy 9 months for the channel.
Yeah, and I have something I'm really excited for my next indie game side video to kick off 2026.
Listen to the damn thing gurgle and crank. How long is it gonna take?
Just long enough for me to thin out the splicer population.
It seems Julie's death didn't provide a clear enough lesson to you. Perhaps this will suffice.
Ryan's got your number. No doubt he'll be sending company. Best to head back to the lab entrance and seal her up. Might be the only way to keep the splicers out.
Not gonna take offense to your buddy Andrew Ryan trying to kill you yet again.
It's whatever. The game forced us to ally with Atlas, so I'm not surprised Ryan is trying to take us out, and we are only 2 episodes away from getting to spin back for it anyway. All in due time. But Joe, what game are you planning on doing next? I have to admit, I did like your Dino Blade pick for last video.
I've been genuinely obsessed with this one particular game since I got it a few days ago, and I can't wait to record a run of it for the channel. Oh, and shout out to everyone who watched my Dino Blade video. I had a ton of fun playing it, and if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out.
Did you get that door closed? Good. That should buy some time. I sent you a wee package through the pneumo. It's not much, but every little bit counts.
I do enjoy the couple of times in this game where the need to hold down a location allows setting traps to shine. I feel like I always use proxy mines and trap bolts on Big Daddies, but rarely on splicers as I traverse the level. That's another thing Bioshock 2 does a great job of. But Joe, are you not going to tell us the game? Don't be a tease!
Hang on, fellas, just gonna cross Donald Trump demanding that Joe Biden stop teasing him off of my bingo card real fast. People told me I was a madman, but I just knew it would hit baby.
Shut up, Barry. One of these days, Donald and I are going to even the score on who catches the most heat on this channel. Because you seem to fly under the radar a bit, and I have plenty of dirt on you, buddy. I could switch up the dynamic and team up with Donald and have your ass reeling. I call that some change you can believe in.
Joe, I appreciate the backup, but please stop using this channel to try and springboard your SoundCloud rap career. It's not going to happen.
It's going to happen. Just watch me. But to answer your question, Donald, no. I'm not going to tell you the game just yet, but I'll say it's very different from anything else we've done on the channel. And I'll throw in the little twist that it'll be you and Obama actually playing for the video, but that's all I'll say.
It better deliver on all this build-up.
Hey, I just remembered we are supposed to mention that we made a post recently regarding options for a little side project for the Darkest Dungeon crowd, since we haven't done a video in a while and kind of left off on a cliffhanger. Be sure to comment on that post to cast your vote. The link for it will be in the description of this video, along with Joe's Dino Blade video if you haven't seen it yet.
How long is that damn Vector gonna take to cook?
Donald did a really solid job bobbing and weaving through that wave of splicers without aggroing the daddy. The ring around the rosy to lead the splicer to the proxy mine by the door was pretty solid work. And now, with the daddy hypnotized, I think this is as good as over with, assuming Donald doesn't accidentally shoot him. How do you feel about his performance today, Obama?
I just heard the security alarm go off also. I think he will cruise through the rest of this gauntlet. Donald did pretty well today, other than accidentally shooting that one daddy after bragging about being the best shot out of all of us, and then not knowing how hypnotize works, of course.
Not knowing how hypnotize works is on me. You better believe after this I'm going to brush up on some of the mechanics of plasmids I don't typically use, so nothing like that ever happens again. I know Obama has more knowledge of lore than skill at gameplay, so I'm not worried in the slightest. By the time we are watching the credits and discussing the lore implications of Bioshock Infinite in however long it takes for us to get there, I will be the king of this series. Mark my words. I've already mowed down that horde of splicers, and now it's time to go serve as Biolante's origin story. Sorry about that, Godzilla.
Random Godzilla mention.
But hey guys, this video has gone nearly an hour long at this point, and I unfortunately got to get to my late night broadcast. I can't be late again, or they will throw me in the gulag with Bill. Can one of you get us to the bathysphere?
Yeah, I got you.
Take a deep breath and enjoy it. Then head over to Rolling Hills and get the bathysphere. Next stop is Ryan's house. It's time for blood.
Okay, Barry, Donald is gone. You can be honest. How are you feeling about the competition?
I'm feeling better now that he died once. I know he's boisterous, but he is legitimately pretty good, and he's going to give me a run for my money in this series. I have an idea for something to better my chances, but I need you to do exactly what I say next episode, okay?
I can do that. But won't he watch this video back and see us conspiring? I can already hear his outrage.
His work blocks YouTube. I email him his copy of the video. I'll edit that part out of his version.
That's devious of you, honestly.
Just playing to win.
Why are you so resistant to the traditional methods of separating a man from his soul? You're not CIA, are you? You belong to Atlas.
Wait, didn't he already know that?
I can't seem to exterminate. Don't worry. I just need time to find the proper poison.
Joe, I don't think Ryan knew the person we were with was Atlas until now.
Yeah, maybe not. But that's about it for us. For this episode, folks, it's time to hop in the bathysphere to Fort Frolic ahead of episode 5, which will debut in January of 2026.
We are so thankful to have had you all join us in the channel's first calendar year. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. On behalf of the entire cast and crew at POTUS Gamer 7, happy holiday season, happy new year, please splice responsibly, and we will see you next time.